USDA's latest crop report shows 70% of corn, it is in good to excellent condition. And from weather trends, trade developments, farmers, they're watching a number of factors as we enter the summer months, which have brought a heat wave to most of the country. Our good friend Dennis Reyman with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers joins us now with the latest from his region. Always a pleasure to have you here, Dennis. A year ago, we know that your area was dealing with some record flooding. Right now, what are we looking at as far as crops? I'm sure it varies from region to region, but what are you seeing?
Well, yes. Thanks again, Suzanne, for having me on. Yeah, a year ago, we had very good looking crops, except that we had 15 to 17 inches of rainfall kind of along the Iowa-Minnesota border in northwest Iowa. That all came downstream, created some record flooding and total crop loss in areas. And some homeowners are still dealing with the losses. This year, we've got a good looking crop that started slow. And so there's some unevenness out there, which is now being camouflaged by pretty lush growth. So the corn is looking better every day. That unevenness is still there. You just might not see it quite as easily, but that'll show up and affect yields most likely later in the year, unless we have a perfect second half of the growing season. Soybeans, not as good as the corn. Soybeans are slow to grow. A lot of disappointment right now with the vegetative state of the beans. Of course, they're starting to flip into the reproductive state as the days become shorter now. So they can do a lot in the July-August timeframe. So we're not too worried about soybeans yet.
Yeah, still time for that turnaround for sure. Overall, Dennis, what are you hearing from producers there as far as their mood or the sentiment? What is their take on everything?
Well, cautiously optimistic is the best I can say, and some are losing that optimism, which is understandable with the lack of any kind of bump in grain prices for quite a while since February. We typically look at this time of the year as giving us some opportunity to sell, and as your analyst reported repeatedly it just isn't happening. So. A lot of concern about that, and that's dampened the optimism. Whether you're an older farmer, younger farmer, or certainly affecting younger farmers who borrow money a lot more than some of the older fellows who can operate more on their own cash.
Yeah, that is an issue for sure. It's something that we're hearing across the board, across the country. What about land sales? We know typically midsummer, right? They start to pick up a little bit. What are you seeing right now in the market?
Yeah, there's been pretty good activity for the month of June. That's kind of the kickoff of what we call the land selling season. And we looked at what has occurred this June compared to last June. A few more acres was sold in the area that we cover compared to a year ago, and actually just a bit of a stronger total average. And I'm talking maybe 1% to 2% stronger, depending on how you want to slice the story there. But just a tick stronger. But when you delve into it and look at it county by county, and where there's been at least a few sales in a county, the counties that have had crop stress in the last 2 years are a little softer than those that have not had the crop stress. So that is showing up, I believe, in the land market. Yeah, but overall, kind of a more or less steady story so far, but just early in the season.
Yeah, interesting take on that, too, and what you're seeing. But, of course, always opportunity for some. Out of time right now, I feel like we could talk for a while. But, Dennis, always a pleasure to have you join us. Always great to see you. Dennis Reyman with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers.